Even though a lot of people say that the blackout editions are starting to get old, they're still hotter than ever. And luckily today I have a High Country Midnight Edition and a limited night edition. Special shout out to Jerry Seiner Chevrolet here in Salt Lake City and Larry H. Miller Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Sandy, Utah. Both of these trucks are available for sale. Let's go ahead and start on the front ends to see which truck wears it better. Ram has been doing this for a long time. I believe they introduced the night edition for 2019 later in the year. And one thing I love about the night edition limited is the headlights. So they do give you a projector style and they black out the housing of the headlights. These are probably one of the most over-designed headlights in a good way. Also on the side it says Ram LED, full LED, including the turn signals right there, reflective style fog lights, and the grille surround is going to be painted. The center of it is going to be blacked out. It does have a high gloss in the center here, and then they matte out the logo for the Ram badge. Painted bumpers as you would expect, black recovery hooks which go really well with the front end. And when you get the night edition, they do give you the sport performance hood, which just basically just completes the whole look of this truck. Now Chevy be like, hold my beer. They finally added the Midnight Edition to the High Country for 2024. And they did something totally different. Well, not totally different, but definitely different from what you've seen from Ram and Ford. Instead of going with that black gloss on the grille, they went with a black chrome. And let me just say it out loud. I love this so much better. It has a really nice appearance. You don't really see black chrome in the marketplace used that much, and it just goes perfectly on the front end. But the same story you do have that blackout is matted out right there. They also black out all the trim pieces that would normally be chrome, including this piece down below. However, they do give you the chrome recovery hooks that match the front surround of the badge. Headlights are going to be a full LED projector style. It's going to be a dual beam as well. And here are the fog lights down below. But I think it looks really good. I think Chevy has done a great job with their first attempt for their Midnight Edition. Now off to the side, let's talk about the wheels first. These are going to be a 20-inch wheel, 8-spoke design, and they pretty much give you a high gloss black finish on the wheel. And I think these are probably my favorite in the marketplace. Now, I don't like the tires that they're continuing to use. These are the Firestone Transforce tires, blah, 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 blah. I can go down a whole list of why I don't like these tires, but solid front axle. I think these wheels look great on this build. Also, you get the fender flares up front too. And it does definitely complete the overall look too. Now, they do black out the badges on the side too. And then here are the mirrors. What I don't like about the Ram is all this is finished in hard plastic and it has that cheap look as if it's a work truck. Now Chevy does have some very controversial wheels. These are not my favorite. I wish they would have done what Ram did, which was black out the limited wheels. However, they did not do that. I do think they're going to be doing that for 2025, however. So these are going to be 20-inch wheel, high gloss finish. I do like the tires a lot better. These are the Goodyear Wrangler Trail Runner ATs. Independent front suspension. Now you guys can see here that the fender flares are finished in like a plastic material. I don't mind the look, but it definitely does kind of downgrade the overall appearance of the truck. Some of the badges you guys can see, they do not black out these up here, which is fine because it goes well with the front badges, but you do have a blackout there. And I love what they've done with their mirrors. So they do give you this painted black trim piece which breaks up that black plastic. A lot better appearance on a $90,000 truck. And let's continue to keep going down. Black door handles, black trim around the windows. Also, they do remove the chrome on your power deployable running board, and also this trim piece too was blacked out, which is basically the black chrome that you saw on the front grille. Now on the side of the Ram, painted door handles, black trim around the windows. Now you normally get power deployable running boards with these trucks standard, but I think there's a supplier issue because I've seen a lot of Ram trucks coming with the fixed wheel-to-wheel running boards on the higher trim levels. So just keep that in mind. Now, 31-gallon fuel tank versus a 36-gallon fuel tank with the Chevy. They do not give you any trim pieces on the side, which I do like because it has a cleaner look overall. However, one thing about the Ram trucks is you do have a smaller bed in comparison with the Chevy. And this is a 3/4 ton, so you're gonna have a coiled suspension, or as this one has, it has the air suspension. No wonder this truck was riding so good on the way here. Yeah, the air suspension definitely does help the overall ride. Now out back, you guys can see Ram does go to high lengths with their trucks because they do black out your tail lights, which a lot of manufacturers don't do. Of course, all your badges are going to be blacked out as well, and painted bumpers, parking sensors are kind of hidden. Let's go ahead and check out the Chevy. Now, comparing the bed size, this is going to be a 6-foot 10-inch bed, and that Ram is a 6-foot 4-inch bed. So it's definitely a larger bed on this side. Love the steps on the side of the bed. They come in useful if you are loading stuff in, or if you're locking in your gooseneck trailer, fifth wheel, whatever. As I mentioned, you get larger diesel tank and you get a larger DEF. So this is going to be 7-gallon versus 5.7 on the Ram trucks. But you guys can see the fender flares in the rear. And here's the suspension. Out back, nothing's different with the taillights. And actually, they downgraded the taillights on this truck because they do come with full LED. The only exception on this one is the reverse light is still incandescent bulb. But same story. You have painted bumpers. They do black out the badges out back. This one does have the optional multi-flex tailgate, so it does break into a step. And here is the rear. They do stamp high country right there. Let's check out the bed for the Ram. Both trucks are going to have assisted tailgates. Now this one does have the fifth wheel prep package. And here are the plugs for that. 400 watts of power on both sides. You can definitely tell how much taller the bed side is on the Chevy compared to the Ram. And that's because this cabin bed design is pretty old, so hopefully in 2025 they fix that. But both trucks do have the high mount center lights. They both have a nice design. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the advantages on both trucks. If you are looking at the night edition package with Ram, it's going to cost you $2,605. Chevy's is $1,695. Now I will admit to you guys, these packages are very, very expensive because think of it like this. All they're doing is just blacking out the badges, the wheels, and both of these trucks come standard with 20-inch wheels, so they're only swapping out chrome for black. So the only big advantage on the Ram is they do give you the Sport Performance hood, which really does give it a nicer appearance, but again, you're just switching off the hoods. So these packages are kind of expensive, but you're paying for that look. Most guys and girls today want that blackout look. And one disadvantage to the Chevy is this. If you want to get the Midnight Edition, you are only able to get it with a black truck. That is it. You cannot get the Midnight Edition on a white or red or whatever color you would like. They force you to get black paint. And as you guys can see with Ram, they don't do that. They do allow you to have multiple colors to choose from.
And Ram is the only manufacturer that gives you a blackout for dualies.
Now, as far as the interior goes on the Ram, I don't care how much of a hater you are. You have to admit, Ram has done a phenomenal job for the last basically 5 years with their interior. Ram has basically been #1, and even to this day, I still think that they're the most popular truck on the market. The only issue that they have is that they just haven't done any updates to make people excited about their product. But when you look at the door card, it's done really well. All soft touch up top here. I love the black chrome treatment to the interior. It's pretty interesting that they went to the level that they did with this interior, because I really think it's probably one of the best interiors in the automotive world. It really is. For 2024 though, Chevy came out strong with this updated interior. Soft touch, just like you saw on the Ram. And here's where the advantage is on the door for the Chevy. They wrap this piece inside of here in a perforated leather. It has a really nice high quality design, and you don't normally see this on any other truck. Now the speaker grills right here, you can see they did a great job with the design with that too, and they still give you some bright chrome trim pieces around the interior. You can pretty much extend out the mirrors on both trucks there. Now as far as the seats go, these are not real leather from what I've been told. I did ask before I did this video, I asked a couple guys because I couldn't remember. But these seats are just a probably more upgraded leather from what you've seen on the LTZ. They have a really nice design. You can see that brown accent right there. The stitching and piping on the seat is really nice. They do give you a high country badge right there. Let's go ahead and check out the seats for the Ram. I do like the overall appearance of the Chevy seats better than Ram's. However, Ram has real leather seats, and I had my truck for what, 3 years. Seats never showed any signs of wear. Also, this truck does have tilt headrests, which is an advantage over the Chevy. And I like the overall design that they give you for these seats too. These seats are a little bit softer, 10-way on this side, and I believe that the Chevy's also 10-way. The only disadvantage on the interior is you don't have a telescoping steering wheel like that Chevy does. But I do like the treatment that they give you on the interior. They do wrap these grab handles in leather. On the Chevy, they do not. When you step inside, I think that it's however you want to look at it. I've always been a fan of this Ram interior, and even to this day, I just think that they have done the greatest job. And even when you check out the center console, they do give you some nice graphics here with the stitching and that limited badge. And here it is for the high country, perforated leather, really done nicely. Center console is more basic with this truck, but you do have that wireless charger, some USBs, 120 volt plug. This does pop out of here for deeper storage. And they do have a larger infotainment screen, and they both have basically the same size for this screen as well. Let's go ahead and start it up really quickly. This is probably the most basic interior in a good way, because I think that it's so easy to jump inside of a Chevy truck and learn how to use this pickup. I also think that Chevy does have the best cameras too, because their cameras are extremely clear. Let me just go ahead and put it in reverse. It's taking a little bit of time for it to come up, but yeah, you have your 360 camera view or bird's eye, whatever you want to call it, and these like cameras are just very clear. Like you can easily see everything, and I think it's because it's on a bigger screen and it's horizontal. Now they don't give you enough information in this screen. I do like what Ram does. Also, Chevy does give you the heads-up display, but when you get the Midnight Edition, they do nothing different for the interior for this truck, guys. Like, there's nothing different between this truck without having the Midnight Edition versus this one that has it. So there's just no difference. And that's the same for the Ram too. They don't do anything special for the interiors. It's just for the exterior, which is why I say these trucks are expensive for these packages, because all they're doing is just switching off badging. So here are the cameras for the Ram. And they're not bad either. They're just a little bit more grainier. But for the most part, I think that they both have their advantages and disadvantages. One of the biggest advantages for the Ram is the amount of USBs you have. You have 4 right there. The wireless chargers down below here. You have a 120 volt plug there. And this center console, you have storage up top and you have storage below. This slides forward and backwards. You have more storage right there. This is just so much nicer. Nobody in the market can compete with Ram's center console. Like, this is better than minivans. Like, seriously, like they really went to high levels to design this. And even this trim piece right here says limited. It's done really nicely. Let's go ahead and check out the one for the Chevy. Oh, before we did though, I'm sorry, I'm jumping a little too quickly. I always show this because this is one of my favorite things about the Rams is the gauges that they give you. They give you tons of them. And one last thing, they give you these too. Big trim piece right here. And then here's a quick look at the dash. Now I didn't mention this earlier, but 9-speaker Bose compared to, I believe, a 16 or 17 speaker Harman Kardon. And yes, the Ram sound system is a lot better. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. Out back, really nice design for the door, seat back pockets, outboard heated seats, 2 USBs, storage on both sides right there, and below the seat there. And they have a sliding glass too. Because this is the mega cab, this is probably still the best cab configuration in the segment because you get reclining seats. Also, the storage that you get is a lot. So all the way down, and there's a little bit of storage right there. Sliding glass. You have storage below the seat. These seats also fold completely flat, so you can sleep 2 people back here easily. And then here's just one more look at that door. Seat back pockets. You have 4 USBs, outboard heated seats, and you have an additional power plug. So I don't know. Both trucks are nice. I think you can't go wrong with either, but I think these night edition, midnight edition packages are expensive, guys. Because the more I look at these trucks, all you're really getting is just different badging, black wheels. And Ram does give you the newer hoods and the blackout on the headlights, but you're swapping all that stuff out. So my opinion is the fat is still really hot, and I think both trucks look amazing. When you see these trucks going down the road, it's hard not to look at them.